Well, another question we have, and this kind of gets into, you were talking about pension and Social Security benefits, and there are some individuals who have said that when they retired, they thought that they would collect their full retirement from past employment and their full Social Security, but when they applied, somehow that's not what happened.
No.
Some of the money, they didn't get the full amount.
Exactly.
And they never understood what was happening. And one woman said something about they were trying to explain to her something called windfall elimination or WEP.
Yeah, it's called WEP.
Can you address that a little bit?
Elaborate on that a little bit. Well, there are a number of employees that don't pay into Social Security. So WEP was enacted back in 1983, such that Congress felt, well, it's not fair for an individual to sort of like double dip, I'll use that vernacular, where the an individual doesn't pay into Social Security at their current employment, and they might have qualified, had enough quarters to get Social Security outside such as the private or public sector. So therefore, some of the Social Security benefits are cut or reduced. A good example is, let's take the federal system. You've got basically 3 classifications there. You've got SERS, civil service,
Right.
SERS offset, and then you have FERS.
Right.
About 84 to about 1987, this WEP was introduced. Some individuals had to convert from civil service to FERS, or Federal Employee Retirement,
Right.
that status, or SERS offset. Now what happens at age 62? Let's say this individual has retired at age 60.
Right.
Well, they will get their full employment, I should say their full pension, until age 62. And then there's a reduction in the Social Security benefit if they qualified, because the FERS and SERS offset employees pay into Social Security. Civil service status individuals, they don't have to pay into civil service. But what if they worked in the private sector and they were eligible?
Yeah, so what happens there?
At age 62, there would be an offset by Social Security that is reducing the benefits. If we look back in, let me see, I had made a note here. In 2004, the average reduction was $306, and 9 years later, that reduction is $100 more, $395.50 reduction on that Social Security benefit. So again, that's how you have to plan very well in the event that you have you're working in the private sector, and you're not paying in Social Security, or if you work in the public sector, but you have the quarters and you're eligible for Social Security, you can expect a reduction in that Social Security benefit.
Wow, that's really something.
And something else too, it could also impact the survivor benefits of the spouse.
Oh no.
So you
In
can get
a negative way?
in a negative way, yes.
How? How so?
Well, the Social Security Administration could reduce the spouse or the survivor benefits by as much as 2/3 of the amount of a government pension. And I've got some great strategies to help individuals obtain survivor benefits without hurting them too much when it comes to their retirement distribution or their monies that they're receiving on a monthly or annual basis, or however they receive those resources.
Well, Freeman, could this be, based on what you have just said about pensions and retirements,
Right.
and could this be the reason why so many people above the age of 65 are continuing to work?
Oh yeah.
I can remember back years ago, I mean, folks started looking forward to retirement when they got about 55. I mean, they knew they
Exactly,
only
they
had,
knew.
was winding down, but now you go into the workforce, especially federal government, and people they're not retiring.
No, they're not.
So that means that the young folks who have gone and got all these MBAs and all this education,
Exactly.
well,
look at the cost of goods and services.
Yeah.
Before the Great Recession, the average age was what? Person said, oh, I'm getting out of here at 57.
Yeah.
All right, now it has been pushed back to your 60s. Now, 80% of all the people in the workforce today, they're looking at, well, you know, I'm going to retire, but I'm going to get some compensation. I'm going to work either part-time, where I receive some type of funds. And inflation, increased health costs have prompted or fostered the move to defer retirement for a while and then come out later. And you have to, you know, as I always say, you really can't do this all by yourself. A lot of folks make a lot of mistakes. They retire too soon. They have a tremendous amount of debt. They have no resources, and which they are forced to retire. I mean, forced to work beyond 65. Some working at age 70, 75.
And 80. I mean,
and
I
80.
work with some people who just retired and they're right at 80.
Exactly. Yeah. So, with the, like I said, inflation has, and that Great Recession has really put a dent in the dreams of individuals who wish to retire before age 60. And in a lot of cases, before age 65.
Wow. That's something.
It is something. So, that's, we've got solutions for that.
Hello? Patty, I've decided to follow your lead and file for Social Security benefits online.
But Kath, aren't you back in Zanzibar?
I just got on my laptop and went to socialsecurity.gov. It took less than 15 minutes.
Wow, you are a miracle worker.
Well, cheers, Patty. I'm off to film a baby rhino. Baby rhino?